Hi everyone, this is Kaylin. Here on the Reckless Sisu coaching website, Facebook page that I've set up. I do this on YouTube as well to talk about parental alienation, to talk about what it's like being a targeted parent, narcissism, and all that kind of goes along with that. There's so many facets to co-parenting with a cluster B disordered personality. I myself have had a lot of experience with personality types of this kind. I grew up with two of them. I grew up surrounded by this. So for me, this is a very normal personality type. This is a very, hi Samantha, is a very normal thing for me. So it took a lot of work, and it took a lot of coaching of my own to get through to learning what behaviors were healthy, what behaviors were not healthy. Hi friend, I'm excited to touch base tonight. Today is now day 2 of not speaking to my child since having him for my visit. I'm not sure the intent exactly. I did a live a couple of days ago. I know that this is behavior training. I know this is something that's done because he's unhappy with my behavior, with the way that I'm showing up, whether it be as a loving parent, whether it be because I'm exposing this. I don't know if he knows. I have no idea. I do have an order of protection on him, and we are not friends on social media. I don't have a lot of mutual friends as well. But as we know, the narcissists like to stalk and spy, and they find out a lot of things behind our backs that we would never imagine that they would even know. I did find out that he had been accessing my daughter's email since 2017. He had sent her a phishing email and had been stalking her since then. So that was pretty terrifying to find that out recently. I found out that there was an iPad that was being used as like a home hub. And of course I'm called crazy and I'm called this and that for finding out this information. But now today is day 2. My son's phone's been turned off, or I've been blocked. Either way, I do have a parenting tracking system on there now that I'm able to see when he's on his Xbox. I'm able to see, what his online activity is like. So that way I, can have an idea of what's going on. I mean, I'm not looking at like text messages and things like that. I think that's an intrusion of privacy. I think that's very, it's not appropriate for maybe what I'm dealing with right now. And maybe it is. Maybe that's wrong of me to believe that. But so I'm frustrated. It's been a few days since I've talked to my child, and that is incredibly hard when you are in a situation where you don't trust the person that has your child, that you are in, that your child is not being well taken care of. It is very, very difficult. But you know what? At the end of the day, I can only control what I can control. I think to the serenity prayer, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I need to know what I can and can't change. I need to know what I'm capable of changing and what I'm not. I need to know where I can step in and help him, and in what ways are going to be more detrimental to him. This all comes by trial and error. We're not expected to know this right off the bat, right? I do know that I'm taking some different steps because the last 13 years have been ineffective. I know that I can kind of pinpoint now, and I go back to like the grooming stages of when I believe this started. And I believe that there's a lot of things going on in my child's lives that I really did not understand until recently, when things started to become more obvious. And there's some things that I'm not going to share entirely on these lives right now. But I believe a grooming period has begun, and actually has been going on for quite some time with my children. There's different kinds of grooming that can be done, right? I mean, you can have sexual grooming, you can have grooming being a predator, and predators come in all different forms, right? You can be, what are they seeking out? I mean, control, power, manipulation, all sorts of different things. So I just know that my children are being groomed for something that is not healthy and is not good for them. So hi friend, I'm excited for all of the people that have given an outpour of love to this page. I have over, almost 120 some followers now. I'm so thankful. I really hope that you guys get something from this. Please please give me your input. Give me, I've had the luxury of touching base with some of you on a personal level and getting to know your stories, and I'm really thankful for that, because it not only validates my story, I'm able to, we're able to just to speak life and wisdom into each other's experience, and I believe that is so incredibly helpful and encouraging to all of us. Please do that with your fellow targeted parents. So I will have my son on Tuesday, per our custody visitation order, and I wanted to get him to the doctor because he needed some medical care for just something pretty, small, but when our child needs medical care, our child needs medical care. When they need to go to the doctor, they need to go to the doctor, and that's being withheld from him right now, intentionally, which is very frustrating for a loving and healthy parent to want to have done for your child, and you're being met with all these roadblocks, right? You just want to bring your child to the doctor. There's nothing they have to do on their end. I have insurance on my end. I'm willing to pick him up. It's only going to take an hour of the time out of the weekend. No, that simple request of wanting to bring him to the doctor for medical care resulted in a complete shutdown of communication. I mean, he shut down my communication. That is textbook behavior training. I asked to bring my child to the doctor. I asked for something perfectly legitimate for my child, and it is shut down with no contact, no amount of way to get a hold of him. That is manipulative, that is unhealthy, and it is sick, is what that is. And that's what's happening right now with me and my child. I am posting this also on my personal page, and many of you are going to know who the other party is, and at this point I really don't care, and it's not of really much concern to me. I'm simply pointing out behaviors and things that are actually happening, and anyone who has participated in the enabling of this person, this individual, I want to say I apologize, and I don't, for how this might make you feel, because there are a lot of people who have enabled the very sick and unhealthy behaviors that have occurred, maybe on both ends, but on the part of this particular parent. My plan in dealing with this is taking it day by day. It's all you can do. I spent, the majority of the day kind of just trying to shut everything out and not dealing with it. Some days I just have to shut things down. Sometimes I have to disassociate myself. I learned how to disassociate. I learned at a very young age to disassociate. Anyone who grew up with disordered parents, we learn how to cope. We do, and some are in very healthy ways. I learned how to cope in also very unhealthy ways, which included drugs, alcohol, shopping, promiscuity, you name it, self-harming, anything and everything I have also engaged in, and those were found to be very ineffective, in the sense of, now that I'm a parent, now for almost, over 13 years, I can't cope that way. So there's other ways I have to cope, and sometimes it includes hardly getting out of bed, or just shutting down from the world, and you know what, that's okay. And as long as I don't stay there, and as long as I use my coping skills to just get through a period of time, that's all right. I also do a lot of therapy. I also have quite a few therapists. I actually recently got a therapist specific to being a targeted parent, and I'm really excited about this because they are going to be able to really help me get through what this hell is like. So I look forward to that, and I'll keep you guys updated on all the wonderful information I'm sure I'm going to get from her. And I just wanted to touch base tonight. Again, like I said, day 2 of not being able to speak to my child. The phone is deliberately taken, turned off. And I know I've reached out on the parenting app and have said, hey, you need to have him reach out to me. Please have him give me a call. Can we set up a time each day to just make sure that we know? And I've literally pointed this out. I've said, since all of this has happened, I have severe PTSD from my children being completely taken from me in the blink of an eye, poof, right? And so I've asked, can we, for both my sanity and my recovery's sake, have a time set up each day that I'm able to connect with my child. Which is per our custody agreement, mind you, saying that I need to have a consistent and regular way to reach and touch base with my child and at least leave a message for him. I don't have that. So I'm not asking for anything above and beyond what the court has ordered. I am met with no response whatsoever because he doesn't fucking care. That's why. He does not want me to feel comfortable. He does not want me to feel content and safe and trust that my child is safe. He does not want that. He wants the opposite of that. And that is what his behavior is showing. I don't have to get him to say that per se in words. I only have to get him to show that in the way that he responds. And that's why the parenting app is very important. And that's why you need to get that if you are in a situation with in a high conflict situation with a disordered person or just a difficult person in your custody. Get the parenting app. Highlight these things, ask these questions. Don't shy away from them because you know what they're going to say, because you may know how they're going to respond or how they're going to react, but you need to get that documented. And that's what you're going to do by doing this. And what he doesn't realize and what he fails to realize is that his ego, his pride is so big that he's not able to even see past the fact that he is incriminating himself with every single tactic and move that he makes. That I am smarter than him and that I'm not going to let this go to the wayside. So I just want to encourage everyone who's dealing with a situation that may be similar to mine, that you are not helpless. You are not, do not throw your hands up in the air, because it is going to be a fight, but you know what? You're going to be doing this fight forever anyways. Why not put some things in place and be effective and help yourself, help your children. It's frustrating, but life's going to be frustrating regardless. It's going to be frustrating if you're with someone like this. So be smart. Be smarter than them. Give yourself a heads up. And so for now, today, I'm going to hope, and I'm going to sit by my phone. It's like I'm in middle school again, waiting for my boyfriend to call, or the boy I like to call. And that's how it feels sometimes. I'm just waiting for that call. And when I get it, it'll be, oh, hi, mama. My phone was, it was turned off, or it's some excuse because they cover for them. He covers for them. I know he does. And then we're made to feel like, oh, we're just over exaggerating, but we're not. That feeling you get? That's your instincts, that's your intuition. And you need to hold on to that, and you need to remember that you are not crazy. You are not over exaggerating. You are not doing any of those things that they make you feel. Okay? You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your gut. You need to trust your instincts as a parent, because you are the loving parent. You are the parent that the child should be with. And yes, it's more than a worthy fight. You are so right, my friend. I'm so happy that we've gotten to connect. And you know exactly what this is like for me. You do. And I'm thankful for the things that you are out doing for us targeted parents and just your advocacy. But you need to fight for yourself, for your kids, and you need to trust yourself and trust your instincts. Listen to your children. Know that the things that they tell you, you're going to get cues. You're going to get little seeds, and they aren't going to make sense always at the time. But you hold on to those things, and you use your, you have to be able to start using your critical thinking skills. You need to start thinking about what makes sense, what's logical. Hold those little bits and pieces of information, and you need to fight. You need to fight for your kids, because you have no idea what's truly going on. And I've realized that in my situation, that I have no idea. It could be significantly less than what I believe is happening, and it could be significantly worse than what I believe is happening. And unfortunately, I believe it's the latter. So keep fighting. I'm going to hope to God I get that phone call tonight. And if I don't, I'm going to hope to God I get it tomorrow. And if I don't get it tomorrow, I'm going to do another one of these lives, and I'm going to bring some more info out here for you, and I'm going to expose it some more, because I am done being a targeted parent. I am done living in a personal hell and cell of my own doing. I'm done allowing it to take place, and I'm done enabling it. I am done being abused, and I am going to try a different route. And if this doesn't work, you know what? Nothing else has anyways. And I do believe this is going to work. Actually, I'm pretty certain. Just now waiting for the parental coordinator to get involved. I'm getting a lot of stalling, which has happened over the course of the past few months. Since the court order's been done, it's been continuous stalling, continuous, distractions and just insanity on the side of the alienating parent. I mean, it's just insane. Not looking out for the best interest of our children, and been made very clear. I mean, we're to the point where like I've got a gold mine of info, so I wouldn't want the parenting coordinator to be involved at this point either if I were him. But I will get through it, and I will get the parenting coordinator involved, and I will make sure that he's held accountable for his actions. I will be sure that he's made accountable and what's exposed, what kind of parent he is. And you can put that in gold. I'll tell you that right now. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Keep fighting for your kids. Please go on and like Reckless Sisu Coaching. I also have a motivational speaking page, but I'll be loading more content, more videos. Please feel free to reach out, share your story with me. I would love to share some other stories of other parents out there. And thank you for watching, and thank you for entertaining this. I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye from Minnesota.